2005 Cadillac CTS, a 3.6 liter engine. We are dealing with an intermittent misfire on cylinder number 6 here. I could not duplicate the problem at the idle. Brake torque it, I couldn't do it. It's intermittent under heavy load. And now I have my ignition adapter on the cylinder number 6. I pulled the coil out, put my wire in between the coil and the spark plug, and I have my snap-on ignition probe hooked up to my wire, and the leads are going into the car. I'm going to get my picoscope fired up, and we're going to look at the scan tool, the misfire counter, and we're going to look at the ignition waveform. Owner already bought a plugs and wires, not a plug, I mean a coil and a spark plug for this for the tune-up. And so let's see if we have ignition. It seems like it's ignition. I'm certain it is, but just want to see what the ignition waveform looks like. And here's the cylinder layout, 2-4. So this is number 6 on a driver's side next to the firewall. Okay, so it's a little crowded, but you can see I don't have a misfire. I got a misfire counter already on my scan tool, and I'm revving the engine up. It's not showing me anything at all. So okay, on my I got my Pico plugged in, and so we need to kind of see what's going on here. So I got ignition waveform, but it's pretty, it's useless. So first we're gonna do a trigger. We can do a repeat. Okay, now we have a waveform here, but my waveform is upside down. There's my burn time, there's my power kV, and so I'm gonna go to my Pico here, and I'm gonna invert this waveform. There you go, second ignition inverted. And okay, so we have a pretty nice ignition taking place. And let's get the measure the burn time. And 1.8 milliseconds. That's perfect. Okay, so this is a cylinder that's dropping down. Let's rev it up a little bit. It's a little choppy. Okay, I'm gonna increase my sample rate. And alright, we will now increase our time to get more data on the screen as we so I think let's go 100 milliseconds, and alright, let's take it for a test run. Okay, so far I don't have any misfire detected by the scan tool. I think I have enough of the ignition waveforms, events on my screen, and once I rev it up, that should be able to capture it. Now we are going to slight incline right now on the road, and I'm gonna floor it and see if I can duplicate the problem. There we go. That was one detected by the scan tool. I didn't really feel the misfire that much. You can see there was not too much glare, but there's one. Let's see. Okay, so alright, this is my low here, so let's see. Yeah, look at that. Definitely this cylinder is breaking down. Yeah, that's our misfire. Now this almost looks like a lean misfire to me. Let's see the next one. Yeah, this is ignition. It just, yeah. It's no burn time at all on it. Yeah. It's not the fuel that's a problem. We would have this line would go skyrocketing. I was just wanting to make sure that we don't have a injector problem, but this is the problem with the spark plugs. Now we could switch the coil from one cylinder to another, but he already got a coil, so I don't have to worry about. He's gonna replace it anyway. But I just want to verify that yeah, this is definitely a problem right there. Yeah. Even though I didn't feel that much of a misfire at this point, but let's just do it one more time. I wish I can really get the when it's acting up more. Just gotta drive it a little bit longer until it warms up a little bit more, I guess, because I mean it's not misfiring as it's intermittent anyway, but I mean I can see evidence of the bad ignition on that cylinder. But I'm just gonna wait until it starts to acting up a little bit more. Let's try now. I think it did this time. I drove it yesterday. It was acting up more, so you can see that's it's picking up more. So let's see now our waveforms. Yeah, it's breaking down. There you go. So this is definitely ignition related misfire. Look at that. Yeah. I mean, if it's a fuel related, we would have more of the burn time here, and then it would increase the resistance at the end of the burn time. And this is just pretty much no burn time at all. So yeah, look at how choppy that is. All right, I just wanted to, yeah, that's bad. Okay. Let's see. Okay, this is acceleration as well. Let's see what we got here. Yeah, look at that. Yeah. It did feel like ignition misfire, but now this is more like a lean clean misfire right there. I already stopped. I'm just there is a couple of times now where we have what we call the power. A spark KV went up. Unfortunately, it's not going to do it right now, but that's an indication. You know, it's outside of that. Right there. There you go. So let's see if I can stop that. That's indication it's outside of the combustion chamber now. Let's see here. See that? There you go. That's the classic example of a outside of combustion. This is this power, the spark KV goes up, and that's a clear indication that we have a outside of combustion chamber misfire. Let's see if it's gonna come on. Here as well, not as much, but that was a good example right there where let's do this real quick. There you go, right there. There's one. This one here. See, the power KV goes up, so there's one actually better one. Let's see here. We got 3 ignition events on each screen now. Here, nope. Nope, let's go back. This one looks okay. Okay. Let's see. There you go. That's it. Right there. That's a clear indication of outside of the combustion chamber ignition misfire. So, alright, well, this we're going to need spark plugs for sure. As I said, he will change the coil, but I'm not sure if the coil should be replaced. We can just swap it from one cylinder to another, but you know, it's really not needed. He'll do it himself anyway. Alright guys, a little bit of a ignition waveforms analysis. This is my favorite subject. I'm not a, you know, I'm learning as everybody else, so but there's certain things that I can recognize at this point, as I've, you know, been doing this for a while. I can tell, you know, that some of the things that now, of course, it's getting more and more difficult to get a good ignition, secondary ignition waveform from these coils. Luckily on this one I was able to get to it. It was there's like a number 1 and number 3, number 1 and number 2, they're underneath the intake manifold and you cannot get to it. And I actually yesterday put my those probes that I made, I laid across the coils. I was able to get decent, you know, ignition waveforms, but it wasn't acting up on at the idle, so so much I didn't really film it because it was not that much, you know, information that we could get out of it anyway. So that's why I decided to take it for a test drive and do the setup that I did. So this actually works pretty well. I like it, especially when you're dealing with a single cylinder misfire. So, all right, guys. Well, thank you so much, and see you next time. Thank you. Bye bye.